Spartan offense going to stay on the field here.
And got a big play off to the left side, off to the races. Finally going to be drunk down at about the 12-yard line. A really nice design, Rick, right off of the left side of that line. I believe that is Brandon Arnold with the carry, dressed in 10. And he made a really good play, did Brandon Arnold. 5'8", 165, listed as a junior. Senior's hard to find on either roster. I think we have maybe two between the two squads. Heritage has a couple linemen that are seniors. Tate being one. We'll get the name of the other youngster for Heritage that is a senior.
Yeah, Spartans have been content to stay with the ground game, Clay, and up until that last play had done a pretty good job on defense, but Spartans able to break a long one there, but stingy again there on second down was the Heritage defense.
Diamond Productions and Donnie Pascal, sponsor of tonight's action. A fake off to the right side, now breaking back to the left. That was Samuel Smith, the quarterback that called his own number, and he is able to get in the end zone, Rick, as Pine Belt will score first here tonight. They'll go on the board first here on the road.
Yeah, and for the Heritage Warriors, Clay, a lot of guys there in position just missed some tackles. We've mentioned already how slippery it is, but nothing wrong with the effort. Just got to get your head up and wrap up. Could have been a loss, but resulted in a touchdown for the Spartans as they'll go for two here.
And it's tight. It's going to be tight to see, and they will indeed say he got in. So that will make it an 8-6. Excuse me, I'm being wishful here. 8-0 ball game. If you're just joining us, we appreciate you tuning in. Clay Sweet, Ricky Whitaker here with Heritage Christian Academy football. 8-on-8 football, and the Spartans lead it 8-0 over the Warriors. Really early here, Rick. It's a broadcaster's dream as we don't have a clock or a scoreboard, but you look at where this field was literally just 6 months ago. This is a remarkable thing to even be able to host a football game here tonight. A lot of hard work has gone into getting this thing ready. The playing surface, beautiful. I've got you keeping score, and so Spartans have it 8-0. You correct me, as you have had to do many a time already in our young combo career here as good friends, and man, always thankful to have you in the midst of all the chaos.
I always enjoy being here, man, and yeah, we might be a little rocky to start, but give us a quarter and we'll be in midseason form, as we work pretty well together, and always enjoy working with you. But yeah, first game of the season here in the new stadium for the Heritage Warriors, and trying to get a win here. And boy, defense had some chances, Clay. Couldn't get the Spartans off the field though on a fourth down opportunity.
Tracy with a good return on a line drive kick, gonna get it back to his 38-yard line. That's where the Warriors offense for the first time tonight will go to work. A pretty good return there by Geraci, showing some speed. We saw that speed on defense as well earlier.
The Warriors run out a pretty good-sized offensive line, Clay. Let's see if they can get a push up here up front against this Spartan defense. Spartan defense hungry for a win here. Started out, they've already played 2 games, 0-2 if you joined us late. Coached by Mr. Sam Arnett, groups out of Hattiesburg, Mississippi. The Dixie area is where they play their home games.
Interesting to see what the Warriors can do on offense. Trailing 8-0 here in the early going. If you're thinking, give me the exact time, I don't know it. It's being kept on the field. No scoreboard for us to reference that. There will be a penalty that's going to mark the Warriors back. Referee's coming over and telling right now Trevor Lee exactly what the infraction was. But it does back the Warriors up. We're on field level, no press box yet here at Heritage Christian Academy. So it'll be a tough for me to get you the exact numbers, and this is a home run hit by Ian Heron. A great run. Look at the speed. He's going to get it across midfield over to about the 35-yard line. Beautiful play by the sophomore. 5'10", 150. Ian Heron's put in a bunch of work in the offseason. You could see it there. Good run there by Ian Heron.
Yeah, nice explosive run to start this game off for this Warrior offense. I believe they got him with a delay of game penalty to start this game, and there's going to be a holding penalty. Looks like, Clay, they're going to back them up and negate what was a great run, as you very colorfully and eloquently called there.
Yeah, that's a shame too, Rick. A hold is going to move it all the way back. He's marching back from the 30 all the way to the 29. As you were trying to punch me, I'm calling him Ian Heron, and of course that's Ian Harper. We did that last time we were on the scene.
We've done that before, yeah.
Man, and I love Ian Harper too, and that is just like engraved in my mind from calling Ian Heron in both football and baseball, and so I apologize to the Harper family. It's going to come back for a hold, so if they can give me a redo, I'll take it on that. An early season mulligan's what I'm going to need. I knew when you hit me the second time it wasn't something I could just typically ignore. And then my bride's texting me as well, hey, it's Harper, you idiot. So I apologize, Ian. Next play goes up the middle for a couple-yard gain, actually they're going to spot this, Rick, as a couple yards on a loss. So going to bring up second and pretty long here for the Warriors. Going to have to get about 13 on second down.
Yeah, first play they ran, Clay, was really a motion to one side. Quarterback hands it off, but he rolls out to the weak side. Maybe an opportunity to keep it.
Good show of the shoulder and then dip back out to the left. Now he's reverted all the way back to the right on the reversal from Mr. Harper. Harper's worked hard with Earl Kessling in the offseason, really getting that speed to where he wants. And you can see it, Rick, just from a year ago in coverage. Not that Ian, as a ninth grader, was a bad football player. He played a ton of snaps a year ago. But you can see an increase in his speed.
Yeah, and, we talked about this last year in the game that we covered. When you introduce a sport that's new to a school, in some cases you've got to teach kids the basics of the game, right? So that certainly is a big part of what you're trying to do, build a program. And we can see the work that's been put in from last year and definitely through the offseason.
Timeout here going to be burned by Coach Lee. As he takes a timeout, we'll take one as well. On the other side of the break, we will have Heritage Christian Academy and Pine Belt High School. Pine Belt leads it early, 8-0 over the Warriors.
Need a plumber? Let Harold's Plumbing help you with that. Whether it's new construction or just a plumbing repair, Harold can make it happen. Harold's Plumbing is licensed and can do both residential and commercial jobs. Give Harold's Plumbing a call at 601-273-0598 and let him handle all your plumbing and septic tank services. At Planet Home Lending, you are more than just another transaction. Whether you're a first-time home buyer, a veteran using VA benefits, or buying a secondary home, they have a home loan program that fits your needs. Planet Home Lending proudly serves Picayune and Pearl River County with FHA home loans, VA loans, USDA housing loans, and more. Give Melissa Rubel a call at 601-276-5058 or stop by their office located at 500 West Canal Street in Picayune. Planet Home Lending will get you home.
It's not going to reach. We got to figure that part out. Back here, it is 2nd and 6. We're on the campus of Heritage Christian Academy. Just off Richardson Road here in Picayune, Mississippi. One wide to the right, a deep back behind Larson. He kept it himself, Rick, off the right side and a minimal gain. You've got to credit Pine Belt, the Spartans, in good pursuit. Going to bring up 4th and about 4 here. Heritage has it at the 39-yard line, their own 39. Have to cross over, I believe, about the 43 and a half to pick it up. Pine Belt going to take a timeout. We'll keep it right here as we just burn that timeout. Give Ricky and I a chance to kind of reset the action. Spartans have had it once. Heritage have had it once. Spartans scored on their opening drive. Heritage in middle of their opening drive, trying to get it to even. And so that's where we sit. Ball spotted at the Heritage 39-yard line. About 4th and 4.5. So it was a defensive timeout burn, just one play after an offensive timeout. So probably, you talked about it. The rain cooled it a bit, but boy, is it humid, Rick. It's a sticky night here tonight.
Yeah, it started out about 75 at kickoff, going to be up around 80 degrees now with that humidity kicking back in. So a big decision here early, pretty big down here for the Warriors on their first drive here to open this ball game up on offense. And really, Clay, you got to think about it. Do you have something in the playbook here on the ground that you're comfortable with? Do you want to go to the air here and risk a slippery ball situation? We were about to find out.
We certainly are, Slick, and we found out, I believe, in between the break there that wasn't a defensive timeout. Without a clock, I wasn't privy to. You heard me kind of almost describe it as odd, a timeout after a timeout. That was the quarter break, my friend. So we will move to the second quarter as we see both teams flip the field here and move from the right now to the left of that beautiful Warrior logo that somebody spent some time on during the week getting prepared on this grass field. Big play here early in this ball game. Heritage trailing 8-0. A nice pass out in the flats. It is caught by Daniel Lincoln. Well delivered by Boston Larson right in the lap of Lincoln, and he's able to go cross midfield and, of course, pick up the yards needed for the first down. That was well done, Ricky.
Yeah, very, very well executed play, and really Larson does a good job of delivering the ball on the money, but that was all Mr. Lincoln after that. Had to break a tackle and gets the necessary yardage, and most importantly, keeps his offense on the field.
One lone wide receiver to the right of this formation. I think Harper may have stepped back in his stance a half beat early there. He was trying to get out in front. It was a good play design. They were going to take him from the wing back, Rick, and I believe get him in front of Lincoln, who was going to be given the football. But it's blown dead. I thought Harper may have got called for a false start, but they're going to give the Warriors a timeout instead. That may be a bit of a break, but Heritage going to burn a timeout and get the offense all on the same page. Trevor Lee assisted by Braxton DeVore. We talked about Marty Lee being present on that sideline as well.
Yeah, you think about it. We've talked about the humidity, and, of course, being in game shape is one thing, and we know, as we mentioned with Pine Belt, already 2 games under their belt, Clay, have some of that game time, game experience, getting in better game shape. So every timeout you can take is going to be important here.
Yeah, that's a good point early in this season. Pine Belt with 2 games under their belt. Usually during our coverage, Rick, when we're following a team, we'll talk about particularly with Picayune, the team we're following, a lot of growth happens between week 1 and week 2, and so you're facing a team that has already had a week under its belt, 2 weeks to be exact, to grow. This is a good play and a nice run made once again by Daniel Lincoln, doing it on both sides of the football for Heritage. It's going to be a first down, get it down to the 35-yard line.
Great job there by Lincoln, too. Pitches the ball like it was designed to go to the left side. Clay, he cuts back against the grain, sees a hole, and takes it all the way down for another Warriors first down. Great vision there by Lincoln.
So both teams have had it. Spartans took up nearly the whole first quarter with a drive that ended in a touchdown. Heritage eating up a bunch of clock themselves, so each team has had it once. Heritage with a good drive now has it to about the 35-yard line of Pine Belt. There's a give to Harper. Hit hard, stood up, and dropped at about the 35-yard line. Going to be a gain of a couple. Doing a good job of getting the ball to both Lincoln and Harper. And we also saw some creativity on the pass out in the flats a moment ago to Lincoln. It was a good throw by Boston Larson. So second, they're going to call it 8. An end around. This is in the belly of Geraci. Geraci's got good yardage inside the 25 down to about the 22-yard line, and that's going to be enough for a first down, Rick. Once again, they've done a nice touch there of getting it to these guys that they're lining up wide, whether it be Harper or Geraci coming around on. It's not a true reverse. In the sense that they get you flowing one way and come all the way back, but they're giving it coming around that end, and it's been a nice play.
Yeah, really good play design there. You know the defense is starting to key in on Lincoln and Harper, and you get motion going their way and come back the other side. Really nice play design.
Here's a throw just a bit behind the intended wide receiver, trying to find Tyler Bush with it. But it's going to be a bit behind him and fall incomplete. So Heritage trying to match the opening scoring drive from Pine Belt.
Yeah, I've seen a couple of Spartans already be rotated in and out here. No doubt a little bit winded with this great long drive that Warriors are putting together.
A misdirection. It ends up in the belly of Harper back through the middle. There was a lot of action out to the right of the formation after the snap, but the whole time the ball carrier had it going back through the middle. A shaken up Warrior here. That is Eli White going to have to check out. Also checking out is Geraci. Checking in is Dalton Lee. And then a lineman as well here. 8-on-8 action. In the backfield, you will have Daniel Lincoln, Paulston Larson at the quarterback position. Harper comes in motion from right to left. It's a give to the big tailback, Lincoln, and a nice run. Good job by the offensive line. Slick opening up a hole and providing enough room to move the sticks. Going to be first and goal here from the 9-yard line for the Warriors.
Yeah, he is definitely the big body back out of the bunch. And, boy, you look at it, Clay, just a sophomore, 6 foot, 185, good-looking kid, good size.
Yeah, he is. On both sides of the ball, has already made impact. Boy, you use up this kind of clock, Rick, you want to cash it in, right? You're trailing a touchdown and a 2-point, 8-0 the score. So from Heritage perspective, this is really big. You have it first and goal just inside the 10. We'll call it the 9-yard line. A mishap in the backfield, but the athleticism from the quarterback and Boston Larson's going to allow him to recover and pick up a nice gain. That could have been a disaster, Rick, as he stepped to give it, I think, to Harper. When he did, Harper and him had a collision. The ball pops up in the air. Larson able to gather it and go get about 7 yards. And they said the ball was spotted back at the 12, Rick. They had dropped the sticks, had me first and goal from the 9. Then they readjusted. So it's now 2nd and 2 from, let's call it, the 4. Everybody in early season form here. Good run off the left side, enough to get in. I'm not sure. No indication yet. So they're going to say enough for the first down, but not a touchdown. So to get in between the two, they're going to rest the ball at about the 1-yard line here.
See if they go right back with Lincoln here, this short yardage situation. Guys in stripes, as you said, Clay, midseason form, already getting on your nerves with their spots tonight.
Yeah, man. High school football, whether it's 8-on-8 or 11-on-11 Friday nights in our state, have Just a real struggle of putting that thing down and kind of deciding upon it. It's become almost like a group effort, like they're taking votes before they lay it down, and it makes it tough on the flow of the game. Here is the give, and it's going to be a touchdown run for the Warriors. As I believe that was a quarterback sneak executed by Andrew Mitchell, who had come in the ball game and was able to sneak that one in. Rick, correct me if that's not the way you saw it, but
I believe you're right, Clay. It's going to be Mitchell with the keeper there. So now the Warriors have to answer here. 6 to 8 game right now in favor of the Spartans, who got their 2-point conversion. Warriors looking to do the same.
Yeah, these 2-point conversions going to be huge, right, Rick? You cash in the touchdown, no time to relax at all, as you've got to get the 2 to keep it a tied ball game after the score, and the Warriors will. A run off the right side, and let's see who will credit that 2-point conversion with. Is that Lincoln that has the 2-point conversion? Nope, Boston Larson. Going to have the 2 points, and so that will get it to 8 to 8. I would say kind of towards the tail end of the second quarter. Just once again, no clock or scoreboard call it with, so we're doing the best we can. We're also field level, and that makes it a little dicey on some of these numbers, Rick, but 8 to 8, we've got a good one going here. Both teams have scored on their opening drive. Historic night here on the campus of Heritage Christian Academy. First varsity matchup here on campus, just across the road here on Richardson Road. It's been incredible to watch the growth of Heritage Christian Academy and to see this take place tonight. And what was legitimately a pasture, really, a year ago. I mean, this is pretty cool to see football being played out here tonight.
Yep, a lot of prayers, a lot of dreams, and a lot of people that have given their time and also their money to help make this happen. But
yeah, absolutely. I echo that. Pine Belt with a pretty good return. Going to have it at their 37 to go to work their offensive drive. Nice return.
And without a clock, Clay, it's hard to know for sure, but given the long drive by the Warriors and seeing what Pine Belt did on their first drive, there can't be much time here. We got to be close to the half.
Yeah, I would echo that, Rick. I agree. They're just, when we watched that first drive for Pine Belt eat up the whole first quarter, I think the Warriors were able to return the favor and do that to the second quarter. So I believe Pine Belt will have to be in a bit of a hurry. 8 on 8, so some formations that are, of course, are different. I believe Marty Lee was asking the same question, right? We saw him out towards the numbers, trying probably to retrieve a time for his son, the head coach Trevor Lee. Here's a good start to this drive for the Spartans. Maybe a touchdown-saving tackle in the open field by Daniel Lincoln. Daniel Lincoln, a real good football player.
Yeah, really no one there. Spartans did a good job of sealing that edge and left Lincoln having to come and make a open field tackle. He does just that.
8 to 8. Spartans have it. Cross midfield, about the 45-yard line of the Warriors. Empty set, 2x2 set. 2 on the left, 2 on the right. Brought the slot in motion from left to right. Put it in his belly. And that is Eli Bowling. Bowling going to have a pretty good run off the right side. Not sure if he got out of bounds or they will continue to wind this clock. They will wind the clock. Just as soon as I said it, the white hat got in that winding motion.
And Ian Harper comes in flying up, Clay, from his secondary position to make that tackle.
Harper, a really easy kid to pull for. A lot of these young men that way. If not, you're probably not going to be able to hang around Mr. Lee's program. Good misdirection for the Spartans. Will he score? He is going to be knocked out of bounds, Rick. I'm not sure how. Where are they going to put him? no indication that he scored. They're going to drop it at about the 1 yard line. Just not a whole lot of room left over there. That was a big run, and so now the Spartans knocking on the door right here before the half. And we're guessing that, but we've got to be close to the half. They're going to officially spot it at the 2. Dave Wyndham up on the PA, trying to kind of wait on him on some of these to cheat off of. Didn't get in here either, so it'll be 2nd and goal from the 1. How big would this be to be able to hold up and get a stop?
It'd be huge, Clay. That was Boston Larson again. Comes up and makes a tackle in the backfield. And credit the Spartans. You run 2 just long developing plays on the outside, handing it to the running back, and then the quarterback keeps it, and some bad tackling to go along with it, but he gets all the way down, and that might be half unless the Spartans have called a timeout.
Yeah, I believe Pine Belt got a timeout. That does tell us, though, that we're awfully close to the end of this half. It's 8-8. We're closing in on a historic half, and that was Andrew Mitchell earlier with a big frame that was able to sneak it in for the touchdown, and then for the 2-point conversion, I believe it was Boston Larson for the Warriors. But facing a bit of a dilemma here, Rick. You've got your opponent of your Heritage. It's 2nd down from 2nd and goal from, what would you say, Rick, from our vantage point? Probably yard and a half outside of.
Yeah, I mean, they were so close, and you called that right. I thought he got in, and it gives even more credit to Larson's tackle because he didn't have a whole lot to give up and got a loss out of that. So helped his defense out here. Let's see if they can get a stop going into the half.
Ryan right up the middle in that shotgun, kind of that old Tebow play. Snap it to him, let him put his head down and go to work, and that will be a touchdown for the Spartans. Quarterback able to just rush that one in. Rick, a direct snap to Samuel Smith. Smith 5'8", 170. Looks a bit healthier than 170. Got a good frame moving forward there and able to score. Empty backfield as it's been all night long. A poor snap, and we talked about how important these 2-point conversions can be. This will be no good. Low snap, good pursuit of the football by Daniel Lincoln, and that combination is going to get us to a 14-8 score. So good news, bad news, 8-on-8 tonight. Everybody's going for 2 points. So you give up the touchdown, but then as a defense, Rick, it gives you an opportunity to feel good about yourself right after giving up a score. If you can make a touchdown just worth 6 and not give up that 2-point conversion. And so good job.
Yeah, and given that Heritage gets the ball here to start the second half of the ball game, let's see what the Spartans decide to do with this kickoff. Do they squib it, Clay? Do they kick it deep? We know Heritage has got some athletes back deep that can put a return together. I believe that what they do here on this kickoff will probably tell us exactly how much time's left on the clock.
Yeah, this is going to be Eli Bowling who's going to tee it up at his 40-yard line. Back deep is Geraci. I'm sure Harper is back somewhere tucked in, and I can't see him from field level. Probably joining him as well will be Daniel Lincoln. Here's that line drive squib type kick. It is touched and dribbling over by the sideline, but is now picked up and making a good return of it is Harper. Harper with a good spin move. He will eventually be corralled back at about his 22-yard line. So Harper trying to make a play on that return.
Yeah, picked up a great block from Daniel Lincoln to spring him and did what he could out of it. I'm sure Coach Lee will tell him, hey, get out of bounds there and save some of that clock. But looks like they're going to have time for at least a play, Clay, maybe more. We'll see.
Yeah, it's kind of hands tied behind our back a little bit with not knowing the clock. We say that the coaches are having to ask an awful lot too. You know, they can't see it either, and so they're having to constantly bug that side judge on how much time's left, trying to manage a late half situation like we have here. Shotgun formation, that's Boston Larson. He's got a tailback off his left hip. That's Lincoln. Lincoln now will go in motion, and he will catch it. Nope, going to drop it. Called it too soon, Rick. As a broadcaster, you should never do that, and I did. I assumed the catch, and as I did, it was down by Larson's cleat. Hit him in the hands. I thought he had it. Went to take that first step, and it's a slippery pigskin tonight, and it dropped down to the ground. Incomplete pass. Stops the clock. So,
yeah, I think he saw what we saw, Clay, was he had a lot of green in front of him and just took his eye off of it for a split second.
So 14 to 8. Pine Belt leads it. Same tight play. This one, though, is going to be deflected by the defensive end before it can get out to Lincoln. You can tell the offense is going to be a concerted effort to put it in Lincoln's hands, Harper's hands, and Geraci. That's not really a bad plan from what we've seen so far tonight.
Yep.
Really good crowd tonight.
Yeah.
High school football for Picayune, PRC, and Poplarville start next week. So the 8-on-8 got a early start. You got a historic ball game, and it brought out a really nice number here off of Richardson Road, Heritage Christian Academy. We appreciate Donnie Pascal and his sponsorship here tonight, Diamond Productions. Jackson Harrelson over on our camera to the left. We put him on in a full-on sweat trying to help us get underway. We've got your Jeep backed up to the fence with a tarp over it, Rick. We'll have to post pictures later on the Talking Ball Y'all media site so people can get a full feel of exactly what this is tonight. Is that half, Rick? We'll have to see. No.
Yeah, a little bit of a miscommunication there. Between the quarterback and the ball carrier, and put it on the ground. You didn't want to do that going into the half, and got to see if Heritage can hold on here, down only 14 to 8.
Well, and one thing you do too, Rick, is a great timeout for Pine Belt, because you said you don't want to do it. Me and you's looking at the same thing. We know the football's wet, so you've got a long snap, which isn't easy. A punter's going to have to catch it clean, get rid of it, because it's fourth and very long. Your punter may have his heels right at the goal line, maybe on his own end zone. So this is like a tricky play here. You're just trying to survive it, get a good punt off before you go into the half. And I believe Heritage is going to burn a timeout. Saw what Pine Belt came out in, and I'm
surprised, Clay. There was a lot of red jerseys around that ball. It must have squirted out, and we were lucky to get back on it. I thought for certain that the Spartans recovered that one.
Well, this is like a basketball timeout, too. Close a half situations, close a quarter. You always want to see kind of where they align, what the personnel is, and then if you've got one in your pocket, you hope the other guy drew up his best play, then you burn your timeout, make him think, do I really want to run the same thing? So Coach Lee gets to see, hey, are they coming after the punt? Did they set up a return? Yep. Interesting kind of chess match here before the half. See what plays out. Well, boy, you've talked about it. Pigskin is going to be just as wet as if it was a driving rainstorm, because there's nothing dry after the rain we got earlier. We've got Geraci back, awaiting the snap. His protector to the left is Lincoln. That's a high snap, dangerous. Geraci's going to just tuck it, and he's going to get a couple yards here, Rick. Didn't feel safe booting it after the high snap, and so now Pine Belt going to take over deep in the Warriors' territory.
Yeah, Spartans had the suicide blitz on Clay. Nobody back deep. And it makes me wonder, too, if that was an option for him, given the amount of time that was on the clock, to see if they could burn the rest of that clock out. But we will soon find out how much time's left, and a lot of wide receivers out now.
2 wides to each side as Smith is rolled out to his left looking to throw. Now he's fought back to his right. He's going to be tackled in play. That will get the clock to move. That was a slow developing play. Both of those are good news for Heritage. Is just trying to waste the rest of this half away without giving up an additional score. Warriors trail at 14-8. Lefty looking to throw. He's lofted it up into the end zone, and it is batted down. Good defense there. In coverage was Tyler Bush. Thought he was going to maybe pick that one off, Rick. He was in a good spot.
Yeah, certainly had an opportunity there. Had himself in great position, as you said. Couldn't come up with it, but really good coverage there.
Shaken up on the play. That was Eli White having to be attended to after the play. Of course, with the deflected ball, pass deflection in the end zone. The clock has stopped. Got to be getting close here to the end of the half. It's an awfully big possession here for the Warriors defensively, as you will have Brendan Arwood checking in. Ty Tate and Stephen Pearson are the 2 seniors on this roster for the Warriors. Good snap. Smith has spun it twice. Now he's looking to throw in the end zone, out of the back of the end zone. Incomplete. Tried to go top shelf to his intended wide receiver in the back of the end zone, but it will fall incomplete. He was looking for Arnold back there, but no damage done for the Warriors, and that will do it, Rick. They will call that a half here. And what a entertaining first half as Pine Belt going to head to the locker room leading at 14-8 over Heritage Christian Academy.
Yeah, Pine Belt gets the ball to start the game, Clay. They put a good drive together. Brandon Arnold goes in from about 5 yards out for the first score of the game. That made it 6-0. They get the 2-point conversion. Heritage answers on their first offensive drive. A lot of guys switching in and out at the skill positions. Andrew Mitchell comes in at quarterback in a short yardage situation, calls his own number to make it 6-8. And then we had a Mr. I believe that was for us, Mr. Boston Larson checks in at the tailback position on the 2-point. They hand it to him, ties the ball game up at 8-8, and then a nice run by the quarterback, Mr. Samuel Smith. He sets up his number, sets up an opportunity to call his own number, and they score again, but the 2-point conversion is no good, and that's going to make it a 14-8 game here. Heritage going to get the ball back to start this game, and the good news is, Clay, you get a scored 2-point conversion, you can get ahead. Bad a situation for them would be having to only tie, but got to get out here on this first drive and get some points if you're the Warriors.
Yeah, we can come back and talk about some of the strategies to do just that, as we'll take an extended time out here as you're listening to our Diamond Productions halftime show. We'll take about a 2.5 to 3.5 minute break here. We appreciate you joining us for Heritage Christian Academy football.
Since 2017, Cruz Law Firm has provided a variety of legal services to their clients in South Mississippi. Their team will work hard for you to get the results that you need. You'll always be given the utmost respect, and your case will be treated with the priority that it deserves. Cruz Law Firm works with the security title and is a member of the American Land Title Association. They have 2 locations to serve you at 1016 6th Avenue in Picayune and 300 Highway 11 Suite 4 in Poplarville, or you can give them a call at 769-242-2500. Exotic Stone specializes in a variety of natural and manufactured stone and has proudly provided exceptional service, quality work, and low prices to the residents of Pearl River County and beyond for the past 17 years. They have two locations, 6895 Highway 11 in Carrier or 1171 Highway 90 in Bay St. Louis. Exotic Stones is ready to support all your commercial and residential projects. Give Angela Burmaster a call at 504-606-3170 or stop by one of their convenient locations to view their selection or to request a quote, and you'll be happy that you made Exotic Stones your choice. Talking Ball Y'all Media proudly brings to you Friday night.
A lot goes into powering this community. That's why your Touchstone Energy Cooperative wants you to know we've got you. It's a pledge to make sure you're always taken care of. A pledge we honor every day. From our member service representatives to our linemen and those making sure the power you use is there when you need it. We've got you. Always.
Brought to you by Coast Electric, your Touchstone Energy Cooperative.
Protecting your personal belongings is a basic human instinct. You've worked hard for what you have. At Executive Storage, we are dedicated to providing you true, secure storage options and peace of mind. With two convenient locations to choose from, you can trust us to protect your personal, family, and business assets. Give us a call today at 601-798-4000 and let us help you protect your most prized possessions. Darby's Lawn Excellence specializes in lawn cutting, flower bed cleanout, and remulching. They also give free estimates, all while weed eating, edging, and mowing the entire property on a weekly or bi-weekly schedule. Hey, they will also clean out those flower beds and make them pretty again. Folks, fall is around the corner, and we at Darby's Lawn Excellence are stocking up on our landscape material. Reach out to us if you want on our schedule. It's Darby.
It feels good to buy local, whether you're supporting your community's small businesses, family-owned restaurants, or Farm Bureau Insurance. The local agents at Farm Bureau Insurance are dedicated to always helping you protect what's important. Farm Bureau Insurance is headquartered right here in Mississippi, with local agents in your community. If you're shopping for car, home, or life insurance in the Poplarville area, call Kate Amaker at 601-795-4585. Or if you're in the Picayune Carrier area, call Robert Hester, Jeremy Shesby, or me, Ross Gilbo, at 601-798-2861. And go with the home team, Mississippi Farm Bureau Casualty, Southern Farm Bureau Life Insurance Company, Jackson, Mississippi.
Healthy pets, happy people, exceptional medicine, compassionate care. That's our motto at the Animal Health Clinic in Picayune. Located at 500 Kelly Road, we are equipped with the latest veterinary technology and provide a full menu of animal health services, including after-hours emergencies. Dr. Alan Smith invites you to join our clinic family by checking out our website at ahcpicayune.com or calling us at 601-799-1300.
We are back here halftime here at Heritage. It's an inaugural game here, first game on their field. Brand new field, nice facility out here. They trail the Pine Belt Spartans by a score of 14-8 at the half. I'm Ricky Whitaker, and joining me, the voice of the Heritage Warriors, Mr. Clay Sweet. And just want to give everybody a reminder here at the half, next week your Warriors will be in action. They'll be on the road against the Central Holmes Christian Trojans. That's going to be an away game in Lexington, Mississippi. And while you're there, you can tune in and catch Clay, the voice of the Picayune Maroon Tide for the Talking Ball Y'all Media Network, and myself, as the Maroon Tide will be traveling to Gulfport to take on the Gulfport Admirals. You can also catch Poplarville Hornets. They'll be at home versus West Harrison Hurricanes. You can tune in and listen to Jason Baker and Rossi Creel. They do a great job. And Pearl River Central will be matched up. Also a home game for the Blue Devils next Friday night against Bay High. Jeff Lossett and Mr. Caden Smith do a great job on that call. So Pearl River County, we have got you covered for Friday Night Football from the Talking Ball Y'all Media Group. You can download the app, go to the App Store or anywhere you listen to podcasts, find that Talking Ball Y'all logo, find that icon of your favorite team, and we will have you covered for Pearl River County, Mr. Clay Sweet.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun this time of year, certainly, Slick, as football's in full swing, and so a lot of coverage, man. We've been blessed by some great supporters through the years to be able to continue to do what we love to do, and some of that's just creating relationships with kids, and special night to be able to hear to talk. My son now at Picayune started at Heritage. My daughter still at Heritage. You've got a situation similar, reversed gender, as you had a daughter start at Heritage, now at Pearl River Central. Rex, son still at Heritage. I say all that to say, Andrew Mitchell scores the first touchdown, a close friend of mine. You saw Ian Harper have a ton of touches there in the first half. Kids we've literally watched grow up. So pretty special here from our side.
It's really cool, man. Connections all the way around. My son's sweating over there somewhere playing with some of his friends. Got to see your daughter on at the halftime show. So one of the cheerleaders out here for the Warriors. Got really fun to see that. Just a proud moment all the way around, and just really good for the community, good for these kids. Getting out to play football on their field, and didn't really have a home, right, last year. Had to play away, but got a home turf to protect, and certainly that's something that Coach Lee's going to tell his bunch as they get ready to start the second half. Yeah,
and the thing about it, such a good crowd out here tonight. Really a messy weather night. It came right when you kind of make plans whether you're going to do something or not, and people still decided to come out. We were setting up underneath your makeshift tent here that you and Donnie were able to put together in Jackson. And so inside of that was, 5:30. It was still an hour before kickoff, and you saw parents and supporters coming in. Great crowd. And, Rick, we've had a good football game, a tight one, 14-8. Heritage, of course, scored with one of those drives, was able to get that important 2-point conversion. Pine Belts put 2 touchdowns up, failed on one of their conversions. What do you think will be some keys here in our second half action?
I think for the Warriors, Clay, you're going to continue to ride Harper and Lincoln. That's going to be your 2 workhorses. But what we saw a little bit to close out the first half was those guys being keyed on so much, it opens the door for some of these other kids to get open, to have some opportunities. I thought Boston Larson was good in the first half. He was 1 for 3 on the night. Threw one just a little bit behind Lincoln, but hooked up with him for a nice reception that led to a first down. So maybe some misdirection things. I think we may see an opportunity for Harper or Lincoln to go in motion and the quarterback to keep that ball and maybe go backside and could have a big gain there. So a lot of options in the playbook here for Coach Lee and his Warrior group. Now defensively in the right position most of the time, Clay, just got to really secure that edge and got to wrap up.
That's good points made by you, and it's cool to see the way that this staff has kind of come together. You've got Trevor Lee, Braxton DeVore. We've seen Marty Lee kind of roaming the sidelines as well. I made a roster mistake way early in the game. I called Ian Harper Ian Herring. That's a kid that I've covered multiple years over Picayune at multiple sports, and so I confused those. I said that Heritage had 2 seniors. They have 3. Boston Larson, a key contributor on this squad, also a senior. So when we make a mistake, we like to try to clean them up, and I've had my share here in this first half. Thankful to have Jackson Harrelson along for the ride this year. He doesn't know what he's gotten himself into, Rick. He's helping us on the camera side, the video side, and his first ball game we create on press box here off the side of these new stands here at Heritage Christian Academy, along with your Jeep.
And you said it, man. Like we're going to take photos because literally my vantage point to the right side of the field is through my back window here. So it's been a lot of fun, and our man on camera there he's been a good sport here to start off. So trying him baptism by fire.
Absolutely, the only way to do it. We appreciate Diamond Productions for their sponsorship of tonight's action. We've got a home run to start the half. A big return by Geraci. Geraci going to be hauled down at about the 20-yard line. Rick, I went into the full home run call there. I didn't think he was going to be caught. Good pursuit late by Pine Belt, but what a start to the half as the Warriors going to have really, really good starting field position.
Great
We've
return.
seen some nice returns.
Great return to open up this second half by the Heritage Special Teams. Clay and Geraci had a little trouble getting the ball, actually dropped it, was able to pick it up, and, boy, when he got that edge, there was nothing but green grass there. Got some great blocks along the way and sets them up in great position.
See if the Warriors can cash in on that special teams play as Larson under center will give to Lincoln his tailback. Lincoln ducks in the hole, going to get about 4 or 5 yards, a hanky out.
Flag was thrown really late. We'll see if this is a face mask or potentially holding given where they threw it. It's hard to see from this angle, but we'll find out here as the guys in the stripes side, and it looks like he's going to wave it off.
So maybe a picked up flag here. And the sticks are going to tell us that they're trying to catch up over there, Rick. So it's going to be 2nd and 6. Ball spotted at about the 16-yard line. Here's the toss to Lincoln. Lincoln trying to get around the left side. Got the corner enough for the first down and going to get it inside the 10-yard line. Should be 1st and goal from about the 6. And you're hearing me say about a lot tonight. I apologize for that. We're ground level, and so I'm giving you the best guesstimate on it. The time, we know the score. It's 14-8. The visitors from the Pine Belt lead it over Heritage Christian, but all the other stuff are kind of guesses from my behalf on just the vantage points we have. Here's a give, and a beautiful play call will result in a touchdown for Tyler Bush. Coming from left to right off the wing position or slot receiver comes Tyler Bush for the touchdown, and it will give the Warriors a chance here, Rick, to go ahead with this 2-point conversion as it gets the score to an even 14 apiece.
Yep, and that's just something from old Coach Marty Lee's playbook there. And you caught it right. It looks like the reverse, but they call that the old wing-back belly just to give around and credit Lincoln. He's drawing so much attention. They're all going to him.
Here's Andrew Mitchell in the ball game. In these short yardage situations, they've gone to Mitchell. He had a touchdown earlier in the ball game. Here, this one is going to be blown dead before it gets going. Talked about how big these 2-point conversions are. They're going to move Heritage back on this one. No, they won't. They'll put it right back down, Rick. So that's twice this drive we've seen a whistle and then really not any yardage mark off as Mitchell's going to go under center. He's got Lincoln back behind him. He'll give it to Lincoln. On the quick hitter as Lincoln was lined up at the fullback position. We're waiting to see if the 2-point conversion is good, and it is. So that will get Heritage to a 2-point lead, now lead at 16-14 over Pine Belt. What a big drive that got started right off the bat with a nice return from the special teams to really set up a short field for the offense.
Yeah, that was huge, Clay. It was really sparked by that big kickoff return by Cameron Geraci. Sets his team up in the red zone, and a couple plays later they're able to capitalize on it. And just what you wanted to do as the Warriors, come out here in this first half with your first offensive possession, put points on the board, get the 2-point conversion, and now Pine Belt having to play chase to you now.
Yeah, that's a good point. You'll kind of see if the defensive changes any schematically with that lead, or what Coach Lee drew up defensively in the half. So many times you want to fall in love with the offensive adjustments, but you're a former linebacker. You know those guys X and O's during those halves as well. And so we'll see what the defensive adjustments potentially were for the Warriors. Harper going to kick off. Harper, a heck of a soccer kid in his younger days, is Ian Harper going to kick off. As let's see here.
That was Bush on the touchdown, Clay, on the 2-point conversion. Was that Mitchell?
He was in, and he gave it to his fullback Lincoln for the 2-point.
So Lincoln got in for the
quick
2.
Hitter right up amongst the humanity was Lincoln.
And 4 different skill guys putting points on the board so far.
I'm listening to you, Lick, but you're looking at me like I'm confused. I am. I don't know what the delay here is on the kick. Harper has it teed up. He's ready to rock and roll. You've had every official kind of speak to one another after the fact. I'm not sure what they're trying to figure out here, as Harper's now going to re-tee it. It's a funny look in between touchdowns. Bunch of these kids going both ways, right, Rick, on a really humid night.
Yep.
If you look at Lincoln over here on your right, he's trying to catch his breath. He's putting water down the back of his neck. He has been asked to do a lot tonight for the Warriors and done it well. Trying to regroup a bit here. Is Harper finally going to kick this thing off after a lengthy delay? End over end kick, a shorter kick, and a good return out into space. One guy to beat, Willie, 35-30, 25-20. A great return, and that was Eli Bowling. Returns the favor after a big return to start things for the Warriors. Pine Belt hold serve and going to get it to the 20-yard line.
Yep, Spartans answered with their own really nice kickoff return. That was an up back. The guy was in the up back position, had enough speed to get to the edge, and a touchdown saving tackle there. Clay, I believe that was Bush that made that tackle to keep them out of the end zone. So Warrior defense now going to have to answer.
Yeah, and that's a defense. We talk a lot in our coverage about complementary football, and it works both ways, right?
Yep.
Special teams can put you in a real bind defensively. Both of these teams have done that to one another to start this half. A good tackle made. That was a nice hit made by Eli White coming up and finding the ball carrier. A gain of only 3. A good play made there by Eli White.
Spartan ball carrier breaks a tackle and looked like he was going to have a good gain. And, boy, White closes in, makes a nice, just perfect form tackle in the open field to keep that to a minimal gain.
Good job by White. Let's call it 2nd and 8, Rick, from the 18 of the Warriors. Shotgun formation. Smith going to call his own number. That's the quarterback, Sam Smith, and he's going to race to the pylon, and he will score. Sam Smith with about an 18-yard touchdown run. So that will put Pine Belt ahead 20-14.
It'll be 2016.
20-16, excuse me. We need that handwriting you got over there, Rick. You're writing in pencil. I need it lit up like an old scoreboard.
Yeah.
Man, my math skill has asking me to do a lot to do math on a Friday night. A high snap and just a outstanding individual effort by the quarterback, and Samuel Smith will get the 2-point for Pine Belt, so that will make it 22-14 to 16, 22 to 16 over the Warriors. And Rick, we talk about football being a team game, a team sport, but that was a lot of Sam Smith right there. A high snap, and he made about 6 Warriors either miss or be drunk along the ride for the 2-point conversion. A really good effort there by Samuel Smith, 5'8", 170. He's a junior out of the Pine Belt.
Yeah, and boy, the first half, Clay, started out as it was going to be kind of a grinded out on the ground game, but offenses have really took off. This thing might turn into a shootout here in the second half.
Yeah, it may. I'm going to be looking at your man-made scoreboard over there, 22 to 16, Pine Belt on top.
Smith goes in for his second touchdown of the night. Good-looking ball player for the Spartans.
Yeah, that's a good point. He really is. Fun game to call tonight. We appreciate you if you're tuning in. And first game mistakes made here tonight, Rick. Getting those kind of out of our system. We appreciate Heritage letting us come on site. Here's a dribbler kick trying to kind of switch things up. And it's tough to find and picked up. It eventually will be by Tyler Bush. Had to retreat about 10 yards before he finally grabbed it at about the 26-yard line. Gets it to the 34. That's where Heritage will go to work from their own 34.
Yeah, just a really tough end-over-end squib kick, hard enough to field in dry conditions. But Warriors get their hands on it, and I think the Spartans said, hey, we're not going to kick it deep again.
No, I think that's a good adjustment, right, special teams-wise. And now Heritage is going to have to drive a lot longer than that touchdown drive moments ago to open the half. Here's a good start to the drive as Harper's loose. He's across midfield. He's made a heck of a move at midfield that's going to buy him up to the 40-yard line. What a tremendous run and great vision by Ian Harper. Absolutely undressed a guy at midfield with a dip of the shoulders out to the left, Rick, and then brought everything back to the right besides that defender. That was a really good move by Mr. Harper.
Nice run by Harper. And vision is what you said, Clay, and you were exactly right on. The jump cut he makes in the hole to break that thing, really good adjustment there. Nice vision when he had the ball in his hands, and then, boy, did the rest down the field.
Here's a pitch out to Lincoln, and Lincoln trying to find a bit of a gap there on the right side, and going to pick up about 6 yards, Rick. That's that kind of deep pitch that as a play-by-play guy, you're always wondering, like, is he about to throw the football? You know, kind of had that feel to it. It was a shaken up Warrior on the field here. That's going to be certainly a delay, and immediately every player hits a knee.
Yeah, and both of these squads, Clay, in this 8-man football setup, maybe 20 guys or so on the roster, not a lot of depth there. And I think what we're starting to see here is defenses are starting to get tired. We've had some quick scores to start this second half, and I think it's going to come down to what defense can hold up. But both sides really giving up some big gashing runs.
Yeah, that's a good point. We talked about fatigue early. When the rain stopped, it kind of became a mini steam bath, really, before that sun dropped down, and still a ton of humidity. And once you sweat like that in a half, there's no halftime long enough to kind of refuel. 8-on-8, Rick, that's a lot of space to cover on a football field. It's a lot of these guys go both ways. You keep hearing a bunch of the same names over and over for both squads, and so the vantage point that we are, and Jackson's higher than us with a camera. He's got a good look on it. Just trying to get a number on that young man. Not going to speculate because he got up quickly. He actually kind of shrugged off any help that was coming. I want to say that it was Daniel Lincoln, Rick, that was shaken up, but I'm not
I think you're right, Clay.
On that.
He's not on the field now, and checking in his spot is number 8. That's Mr. Alex Jean-Pierre. Going to get his first action on the offensive side tonight.
I was kind of wondering about that. Not that you'd second guess at all, but he's just such a good athlete.
Yeah.
We saw him really all over the field last year defensively. We've seen more of that tonight if he wouldn't sneak himself on the offensive side. And there he is at the tailback position. And right off the bat, he's going to catch a pitch. And that was an athletic play. Not going to be a big game, but that could have been really bad, Rick, as he had instant pressure. When you're trying to catch a pitch, I bet it's not high on your list to want a linebacker bearing down on you. That's what JP had on that one, but was able to navigate and at least not let go of the football. Maybe gain 2, but could have been a lot worse than that.
Yeah, and Alex brings a little bit of a different dimension here. I won't say he's a change of pace back. I think he's as athletic as you said he is, but boy, gets low, runs really low behind his pads, and we'll see if he can't squeeze through there and break one.
He's back at the tailback spot. Here is another pitch. Same play, Rick, if I'm not mistaken. It's going to be close. He needed to get 2. Did he get 2.5 to have enough for the first down? It's hard to tell. It's going to be right at it. They're going to say 4th and real short. 4th and about out. What would you say, Rick, from here? Half a football?
Yeah, it's not much, Clay. Tyler Bush, number 4, has checked in for the Warriors, and they're going to call a timeout.
That tells you exactly how big it is, so we're not going to go anywhere. Rick, when you look at it tonight, 22-16, Pine Belt Spartans lead it over HCA. This is 4th. We were going to say maybe a football that you've got to get. You've got the guy who's probably touched it. We're not keeping a touch count tonight, but you've got a guy who's probably touched it the most, Daniel Lincoln, over on the sidelines. You've had to replace him with a really good football player and Jean-Pierre. But if Lincoln's not in there, I guess what I'm driving at, do we see a quarterback sneak potentially here? What's the play call?
Yeah, I think you're in a position to do that. Defense is really moving to where these tailbacks are going. That's been their keys. May have a chance, have to see what the defensive line comes out and does, but you don't have to go far. Just got to make sure you're going downhill.
22-16. We're in the third quarter here. The campus of Heritage Christian Academy.
And HCA is going to be in really tight.
And that's Mitchell. That's normally the QB sneak. Nope, he'll hand it off to the left side. Ball is loose. And either way, Pine Belt's going to be very happy because if you don't get it, it doesn't matter. It was 4th down. So really the biggest defensive stand we've seen to this portion of the ball game is going to go to Pine Belt. Going to get a stop there. We're trying to get it to the tailback off the left hip of the center, but there was really good penetration there. Not able to pick it up.
Yeah, but let's see if Heritage can match this with their own defensive stop. They're only trailing by 6 in this ball game here, which what we anticipate to be pretty late in the third quarter.
Yeah, if you're just joining us, we appreciate you tuning in. Clay Sweet, Ricky Whitaker, Jackson Harrelson on the camera for us tonight. Your Diamond Productions Heritage Christian Academy game of the week. Off the left side, there's a flag that comes in, Rick, right away. And so we'll see. That's coming from the white hat. That's normally holding.
Yeah, and that was number 4, Tyler Bush. He was on the ground back in that position. I believe that was a block in the back. I believe they're going to get him with a chop block, and that should be of the 15-yard penalty variety.
And it will, and that's a big penalty, Rick, because now, of course, you're way behind schedule. If you're Pine Belt, if you're able to stop, if you're Heritage, you could flip field position. We haven't seen that really tonight. We'll see if Heritage can get off the field. It was 1st and 20 after the penalty yardage is marked off. Minimal gain on the run. That's another nice tackle by that combo, who's made quite a few of those. That's Alex Jean-Pierre and Daniel Lincoln. They've split a bunch of tackles throughout the ball game. They've been in that linebacker group. That's what spot you used to play. I don't think you'd have too many complaints about the way those two young men have went about their business tonight.
No, those guys have been flying around. It's second and still pretty long, Clay, yet to put the ball in the air outside of just that 2-minute offense they were running. But, boy, a great stick there, and that was Alex Jean-Pierre coming up and laying the lumber, stopped the running back dead in his tracks. So now Heritage defense got a little bit of a spark here, Clay, on third and still pretty long.
Yep, AJP just right where he needed to be again. I mean, that's back-to-back plays from Mr. Pierre. Big spot here, 3rd and 8. Pine Belt's got it on about their, 30-yard line, have a 3rd and 8. We're closing in on the end of this third quarter. Pine Belt leads it 22-16. There's a flag prior to the snap.
And boy, I don't like that, Clay. That's a bad call. That was Daniel Lincoln. Daniel Lincoln comes up at the line of scrimmage. Did not look like he was offsides at all. But they're going to get him with it. They said he leaned into the neutral zone. A big break here, but still 3rd and pretty long for the Spartans.
Yeah, it took a 3rd and 9 and turned it into a 3rd and 4. But good defense once again. As defense flying around a bit now. That's good pursuit. 3 or 4 white helmets getting off the pile.
And that's AJP again coming alive here on this drive, leading the pack.
We hung with this team all year. He'd be AJP before we got done with it. Oh, man.
Here's the thing. You always help me with these names. I'm trying to get his name exactly right, pronunciation, and you hit me with an AJP, and I'm like, that's the way to do it.
Oh, yeah.
Love his mom to death. We call her JP, right?
Yep, exactly. Yeah, fine family that Mr. Pierre comes from for sure. Oh, big hit for the Warriors and a big 4th down stop for this defense. And just the right time the defense has shown up. That was Landon Pichu making a very nice play. Just a freshman, Rick, listed at 5'8", 220.
Yeah,
that was a big play.
Really good adjustment there made by the defense here for the Warriors, Clay. I just really haven't had much of a threat of throwing it. It's been the quarterback and those linebackers just pinning their ears back and going and saying, look, if you're going to do that, we're going to come until you throw it. So nice adjustment there, and now the offense got to answer the bell.
And got good starting field position. We talked about complimentary football. Here it is, as I believe that's a quarter break is what we're seeing. So we'll head to the 4th in a doozy of a football game, 22-16. Pine Belt on top. I'm figuring this is what this is, like, right, Rick, is the walk of the field for the quarter break. That was a big defensive stand right there for the Warriors.
It was, Clay. They needed that and put one of those long drives together here, eat up a lot of this clock. Touchdown will tie it up. You get the 2-point conversion. That certainly would be what they would want to do here. And as a defense coming off the field, you got to feel pretty good about what you did on this last drive. Really been tough to stop this Spartan offense tonight.
We talk about this field and really what a miracle it was to get it to where it is tonight to be able to play on. One of those factors is the banks of lights aren't up yet. And so you've got the rented lights running off of good old American diesel fuel. We're going to hope somebody check them tonight because we need them to hold out as it's gotten dark here tonight at the old ballpark. Rolled out, high throw, but a heck of a catch, as it will be Larson to Lincoln for a good game, Rick. As Larson, not his best throw of the night, but his buddy Lincoln bailed him out with a high catch in traffic and then continued along his way. That was a really good play for the Warriors.
Yeah, really good hands there by Lincoln to pull that one into his body. And credit Larson, Clay. Like you said, not his best throw, but had to throw on the move under a lot of pressure, got the ball off and did his job there, and sets them up with a nice game for a first down.
Yeah, that's a good point by you, normally made. One of the better color guys across the state, Ricky Whitaker, picking out that traffic that Larson had to work around to even deliver it high. Here's Harper. Can he buy the corner? Good speed and pursuit, and he'll be run down. Couple-yard gain, but, Rick, that was good job out there. Harper's gained the corner a bunch tonight, But I believe that's the quarterback on the other side closing in and making a play. I believe that was Samuel Smith coming up and making that stop.
Yeah, it tells you a lot about Ironman football when your quarterback is playing like in a linebacker position on defense.
Boy, what a scene, too, right? You've got these makeshift lights, the tree line in the background, the Warriors trying to drive on their first attempt as a varsity program here on their home field. Pretty cool scene here. It's going to be a give to Bush coming from left to right, a horse collar tight tackle made. I was waiting to see if a hanky came out. Do not see one. Just grabbing the back of that jersey. It was right in that area that could have been flagged. Was not. Going to be short of the first down yardage. Got a couple Warriors shaking up on the play. But just as we talked about the Warriors defense showing up, so has Pine Belt on this drive. Have made a couple good pursuit-type plays. That certainly was one. Here's a 3rd and 9 for the Warriors. Ball spotted at the 19-yard line of Pine Belt. It will be Larson under center. He's got Lincoln back behind him at the tailback. It's Harper going from right to left. It's a fake to Harper, a give to Lincoln, and Pine Belt right where they needed to be defensively. That was another play made by Jasper Watson. Watson listed as an 8th grader. Ricky Whitaker, 5'10", 205 on the roster, provided to us. That was a really good play by the 8th grader.
Yep, good-looking kid. Really good-looking front line for both of these teams. Warriors got some meat up there on that offensive line, and they've needed them tonight, and they've certainly opened up some holes.
Yeah, let's point those guys out, Rick, while we have a moment. Stop in the action. That's 64. That's Brylan Clark moving from furniture for the Warriors. Ty Tate in as well.
We apologize if we're off on these numbers. We are officially in the dark over here, my friend, so we're doing the best we can.
Yes, we are.
And that's 71 at center. That's going to be Ty Tate.
Yeah, he's done a good job tonight. Yeah. He really has. Rolled out to the right and a catch made. That's going to be Lincoln. Stays on his feet for the touchdown. So it will be Larson to Lincoln for the touchdown. That's the play they've run a lot. Rolling out to the right. Pitch it into the belly of Lincoln.
Yeah, really good design there, Clay. And I think the timing on that play was perfect, too. Just like we had talked about at the half, you got one of your better players going in motion in the other direction. They fake the ball to him. He rolls out naked. There's Lincoln, makes the catch and goes in for the touchdown.
A good play design. And you know what I like about that from Coach Lee's perspective? If it works, run it. Hey, don't go away from it. That play's worked 4 or 5 times tonight as that gets our score to 22-22. Yep. 2-point here for the Warriors. Is Mitchell going to come in at the quarterback position? He's going to give it off to the tailback, and that was clever. That was Larson. Larson moved from quarterback to tailback when Mitchell came in at quarterback, and they give it to him off the right side. So getting creative there and getting the lead are the Warriors. Lead it now 24-22. So what a response. You got the big stop on the turnover on downs from the defense, and you make good with it.
Yep, and that's the second time Larson checks in at that tailback position on the 2-point conversion. Picked up 2 points in the first half on the first score, and does it again for his Warriors. These guys moving around, doing what the coach asked them to do, Clay, unselfish football, and playing great tonight. I love the back of these shirts, too, these coaches are wearing. Team, number 1 is knowledge, 2 is effort, and 3 is violence. I think we've seen all 3 tonight from the Warriors.
Yeah, I like that. It's a good look, good catch by you, always paying attention to the details. And this will be a detailed thing right here, too. Special teams. Don't give up a big return after the 8 points. kick that's going to bounce at about the 25, not fielded cleanly to about the 18-yard line. A flag already out. This is a good return up to midfield. Ball's loose. Football's loose at the end of it. There's a scramble forward. Who's got it? I believe the Warriors may have it, Rick. We'll find out. A lot went on that play. Ball bounced at about the 35. Got all the way to about the 18 before it was picked up by the deep back for Pine Belt. There was I'm almost certain, a clip called or blocking the back at about the 35. And then at the end of the play at midfield, you see the ball come loose. There are two shaken up Warriors after the fact. Harper's getting help coming over to the sideline. You've got another Warrior still laying basically on the Warrior logo out at midfield. I'm yet to really know who secured the football, which club has it after we get back underway after these injury timeouts.
And Clay, I was trying to look at the man in the white hat. He signaled the holding, and Coach Marty Lee's going to confirm. I saw him point in Heritage's direction, but we'll have to see. Because they would have the option to decline that penalty and take the ball, right?
Absolutely, yep. Harper maybe looks like he's just cramping. They teach you not to speculate, but that young man's looking pretty good right here in front of me.
And there's the wave again from the white hat. He's pointing
He's
Heritage
telling
football.
us Heritage football,
yeah.
right? Which would be quite a story, right? As we await still that injured Warrior. You'll pull for cramps all night like tonight. That's the most, of course, curable thing out there that could potentially happen in this violent game. That's 9 coming off. That's Geraci, who's played really well. Rick, maybe haven't done a good enough job of spotlighting how many snaps he's played and how well he's played them. He's done a good job.
Yeah, Geraci really lit that spark to start the second half. Clay had that great kickoff return and set up their first score of the second half. Heritage on top now, 24-22. And nice job there by our cameraman.
Yeah, Mr. Harrelson getting in some reps here tonight, which we appreciate. Jamison Dine out to tend to the injured Warrior. That's the thing, too. You're 8 guys on 8 guys, Rick. You get one short because of an injury. It matters pretty quickly. So
yeah, and if you're Coach Lee, Clay, and the offense is going to go out here on the field, and that's what it looks like, you certainly got to think you're going to be moving the ball against a very tired defense. And, boy, if you can eat up this clock, not put the ball on the ground, you're going to be in pretty good shape here to put this game away.
The workhorse in that mind frame's been Lincoln. You know, probably 80% of these will go to Lincoln. He's the tailback. Put it in his belly, especially with Harper over here nursing an injury. And it is Lincoln. He's trying to make the corner, and that's a pretty good gain, Rick. Didn't get the home run type corner, but was able to drag a would-be tackler for 2 or 3 yards after he had already picked up 3, and that turns into a 6 or 7 yard gain on first down. You can certainly live with that.
That's a great pickup, Clay, and you could see it in his body movement when he made this corner. There was no chance he was going to go out of bounds. A very heady call there by 15 to stay in bounds and make them use a timeout.
Yeah, that's a good football play by that young man. Tyler Bush running in the play. He's a sophomore, 5'8", 140.
A lot of hands on the hips, Clay, on this Spartan defense.
There's no doubt about that. Second and 4. A show to Lincoln, but the quarterback, Larson, will keep it himself and going to lose a couple because of a great defensive play.
Yeah, that's okay, though. A little bit slow developing, but you give your big ball carrier a break, Clay, and try a little misdirection there, but Larson a lot more fresher than Lincoln is right now.
Yeah, I think it's been a well-called ball game offensively for the Warriors. Warriors leading it 24-22, holding on to that 2-point advantage. Can't overstate what a score here would do. Especially we've got to be getting late in the ball game, Rick. We just passed the 8 o'clock hour. Game started at 6:30. I would think we're late in this one. No scoreboard or clock to see, so we're kind of speculating on that. Here's a give to the fullback. First guy through. I think they had snuck Lincoln up to that fullback position, and Pine Belt's going to be able to get a stop, going to be a yard short of the first down.
And credit Pine Belt, Clay. They looked like they were pretty gassed, but have really reached down pretty deep and willed themselves to play pretty good defense here.
Yeah, they've given themselves a chance here, Rick. Maybe one of the bigger plays of the ball game. 4th and 2. Have it to the 42 of Pine Belt, do the Warriors. This is a big snap because if it's late in the game, Rick, you get this first down, you can really start to kind of salt it away, but we'll see. See what takes place on a big snap. 4th and 2. Here's the snap back. That was Mitchell in at quarterback, Larson at the tailback, and the combo that got him the 2-point a minute ago, I think, has just gotten a first down, but we'll see about the spot. The spot is a bit iffy here, Rick. Where are they going to lay it down?
Boy, I thought the second effort got it, Clay.
Yeah, but the way that they are spotting this football, I don't think he's going to have it. I hate to say this because I haven't picked on him a lot tonight, but I think that was a poor spot. You can hear Coach Lee through our mic say, defense, let's go, and that's not what the Warriors wanted to have happen, maybe a half yard short.
Yeah, and a lot of these guys on offense for both sides going to turn around and play defense. If you're the Warriors, it's all about will right now, Clay. You just got to whose will is going to be stronger. Everyone's tired.
I'm hoping for the wheel of your Jeep battery. We've got the doors open, the interior lights. We're going to hope it'll get you back out of here tonight. 24-22. Warriors with a big defensive play here on first down.
And that's JP again, Clay. He has came alive.
Yes, he
in
has.
this second half.
He has. And what that tells me is he is in superior shape. You know, you can play well in the second half of this one. You are in really good shape. So good on Alex Jean-Pierre getting himself there. Great job. And I believe Larson was in on that tackle as well, coming up to help AJP. Pine Belt going to take a timeout. The clock was going to run. They'll burn a timeout. I'd love to know how much time is left in this one. It's a tight ball game. Warriors clinging to that skinny 2-point lead, 24-22. Pretty neat scene out here, huh, Rick? I mean, you've got the field. We've talked about it. No scoreboard yet. No real bank of lights. These are kind of those rented portable lights that we have going on. You've got one set of stands over to our left, and it's packed. There's nowhere to get over there. You've got lawn chairs and everything else over to our right. We've backed your Jeep up.
We got people sitting on the hood of this thing. I don't even know who they are, but no, you said it, man. This is that time of year where not really a whole lot to watch on TV, so you start craving football. And, boy, I'm glad we got to scratch the itch tonight. What a great game.
Yeah. When we got here to set up, we backed your Jeep up, threw a tarp over it with bungee cords, put a table out. So we're field level. Jackson Harrelson's a bit up from us over on our left here on the porch kind of these stands. And we've been treated to a doozy. 24-22, Warriors lead it late. Pine Belt have it at their 45-yard line, 2nd 7, looking to throw. Haven't said that much tonight for either squad. Going to be flushed out to the right, and he's made a play. Sam Smith has been dangerous when he's had it himself, when he's called his own number. Here he did to the tune of about a 25-yard gain.
Yeah, and a late flag, Clay.
From the backside of Judge, too, from the sideline official furthest from the play. He saw something on the backside. If you're a Warriors fan, which I'm guessing you are if you're tuned in to us tonight, you're going to hope for that to be some type of illegal block. What else could it be, Rick, or did they pick it up? Oh. What did he call there? It wasn't a face mask that he signaled. Did he He couldn't have called a hold on the defense. That was a strange indication.
He caught a personal foul blocking the back by his signal on the defense. You don't usually see that called on defense.
No. To see that week 0 is what you've heard some of this been called. You can go all season and not see that called. That's a strange whistle, but it does tack on even more. It's now Pine Belt knocking on the door late in the ball game, but a big play. A nice penetration play to get back there. Who was that? That was 15 for the Warriors, Daniel Lincoln.
Yeah, and a really good adjustment there on that front defensive line. You can see it really with Geraci, number 9, spread out very, very wide on the end of that line, trying to contain that edge. And then you've got blitzing from the inside.
Smith with probably their best play tonight, Rick, and it's a simple one. He just takes that shotgun snap and picks whether he's going to go left or right. He picked right here. And he's a load. He's really more of a running back, kind of playing quarterback. We've only seen, maybe 2 or 3 design drops, and on 2 of those, he's decided to run anyway. And so he's gotten it deep into Heritage territory. There's a timeout on the field. Our hope here on this sideline, of course, is that we're so late in the game that Pine Belt may eventually run out of time because they're pretty close to running out of yardage. They're right.
Yeah, and it really been tough to see, Clay, and maybe I missed it, but I thought they would have burnt some timeouts on Heritage's last drive. I didn't see that, but maybe they did, and we just couldn't see it from our vantage point, or we weren't given the signal from the guys in the stripes.
You can see it in this huddle. Jackson Harrelson bringing us right inside the huddle. That Powerade bottle, super popular over there. They're all trying to kind of hydrate, get instruction.
Yep, you see this coaching staff trying to will these guys for one more hold here if they can get it.
From our vantage point, Rick, looks like they are down to about the 3-yard line for Pine Belt. And Smith's so good with it at the quarterback position. He's a load. He's going to be tucked in this tight formation. You can see like an up back, an H back, whatever you want to call him.
Yep.
A lead blocker for Smith.
Side judge pushing everybody off, maybe a silent warning. Interesting too, Clay, every referee came together in the middle of the field like they were looking at their clocks.
Yeah, and we can't see it. There's full trust there to kind of let that play out. If you're Heritage, you hate to have to pull for a bad snap, but you love one here over the head of Smith. And it is a good snap. Smith going to go straight ahead, and let's see, is there an indication there? There is. Touchdown for Pine Belt, so that will get it to 28-24 as we await the 2-point conversion. So Pine Belt here late, going to get a touchdown to go ahead. And as we were pulling for the clock to be really late in this one, now you'll pull for a few more gasp on that clock as we're going to need a little bit as now trailing this one. You said it, a gutty performance from both sides. Here is that 2-point conversion try, and it's good. So that will get it to 30-24. Heritage would need a touchdown to tie it, a 2-point conversion to walk it off here. How cool would that be?
Yep.
On the home surface?
That'd be pretty awesome.
Wouldn't it? The first time the varsity has been able to play here at home.
And a big 2-point conversion for the Spartans, Clay. It's a 4-point ball game without it, right? So you had to have that, and now that's going to not only force the Warriors to score, but now they have to get the 2-point conversion to win. Expect a squib kick here again. They executed that pretty well. A tough ball to field on their last kickoff. We'll see if they do that again. Do you risk kicking it deep with the clock? I don't know.
Yeah, and that's the thing, too, Rick. We've seen some coaches kind of sneak their deep guy up in anticipation of a short kick, kind of almost trick the other team. You hit a line drive, and then you look back, and the deep guy's moved up a level. You've got Harper, who naturally kind of plays up a level. You've got Geraci, who we talked about how good athletically he's been tonight. He's back deep in the middle for the Warriors. See what kind of kick Pine Belt chooses to go with. Our score is 30-24. Pine Belt leaves Heritage late in this one on the campus of Heritage Christian Academy. A long delay between these kicks. Saw it 2 kicks ago. Now we see it again, but everybody's squared away and ready. It is a short kick. Angle going to have to jump on it, and will the Warriors. Makes a nice move over on the far sideline. So going to be pretty good starting field position, probably about the 42-yard line. I believe that was Dalton Lee who was able to get it, advance it. Rick, I'm guessing here, but I'm going to say it. I think Heritage has got to be in a big hurry here. Without the timeouts on the scoreboard, I'm guessing on that as well. But I know Heritage can't have a whole bunch of those. I believe he's saying maybe 1:34 left on the clock. Maybe I called a late mission. Back judge give the time there, Rick. We'll have to see if he's not giving it after every play. We'll keep an eye on the black hat. Back judge maybe be helping with the clock. We'll have to watch him.
Yeah, and if it's 1:34, Clay, that makes you feel pretty good for the Warriors. It could be a lot worse than that.
And it could be 13 seconds.
Yeah.
I don't know, Rick. I called him late. I'm just maybe speculating, and we'll see. Shotgun formation. It's Larson at quarterback. He has Lincoln off his right hip. He's looking to throw. Now he's tucked it under and stays in bounds and takes a tough hit at about the 45-yard line. Heritage immediately burns a timeout. And really nothing Larson can do, Rick. You want him to get to the sideline, but that wasn't going to matter. He had 2 guys with the same idea defensively, cutting him down from there. And then one of the more violent hits that we've seen all evening long is 50 for Pine Belt. That was Charlie Lott. A freshman came up with a big hit. Can't be much time left in this one, Rick. Ball right out around midfield for the Warriors. You've got Bush split out to the left of this formation. I don't see Harper. He may still be banged up as you're in a shotgun formation. Lincoln off the right hip of Larson. Larson spins it a couple now, and this is a nice spiraling football that's going to fall incomplete about the 38, but that's as good a spiral as we've seen from either team tonight. The intended wide receiver was Bush as he elevated for that one. He comes down gingerly. I don't know if that's a cramp or something in the calf area. That's where he's grabbing. He's being tended to.
Yeah, not a bad call there. You throw it deep. No risk of it getting intercepted. It was deep enough to where only the receiver could come down with it. Doesn't take a lot of time off of the clock, so you're going to live to fight another down here.
I don't know how many more wide receivers you have, Slick. If Bush is being tended to here, Harper wasn't in on that last snap. You're kind of, I would assume, getting thin at that position here in 8-man football. Those are the 2 primary guys we've seen in route all night long. I don't see either one in the huddle at this point.
Yeah, and you'll see Geraci check in.
Yep.
We know what he can do with the ball in his hands.
And Harper's in at the slot. So you've got 2 weapons over here on the right side. Shotgun formation. Larson's got it. He's looking to try to find Geraci. It's a high pass and incomplete. Out of the reach of Geraci, just out of his frame. Unable to grab it.
Yeah, I thought he might have got there just a tad bit early, Clay, but
we would have loved that one, right? If we could have got that call. Been a pretty well officiated game tonight, especially in the early goings. We've seen worse late in years than this. Been a pretty good job by this crew. Geraci running it in from the sidelines. He's joined by Eli White on the offensive side. That's Lincoln off the right hip of Larson. Shotgun snap. He's got it. He's looking over the middle. He's going to release it, and it is picked off at the 40. And Pine Belt going to have an interception. Return it up to midfield. A good read of the quarterback there was Bowling making a nice catch on the play. Bowling going to have the pick. I don't know exactly, Rick, but without a miracle, that may do it as Pine Belt leads it 30-24. We've got to be really, really late in this one. You had to throw the football. I don't think Coach Lee and his staff necessarily want to be a team that's going to throw it 3 straight plays, but the score, the time dictated you had to do that. And then you had a couple wide receivers that are coming in and out of the lineup with injuries. Kind of a tough spot there for the Heritage offense.
Yeah, and then you had some frustration after the play, and it's hard to blame them for that. We'll see what they do here, if these will be offsetting. And
I didn't catch it. Some extracurriculars after
yeah,
the
it
play.
wasn't much, but they didn't move the ball from where it was spotted. So, and it looks like a kneel-down type situation here.
That's what you'll see is fitting from the Pine Belt perspective that it will end in the hand of their quarterback, as he's been great tonight, has Samuel Smith.
And that's going to do it, Clay. What was a great ball game, 14-8 going into the half. Second half opens up with a great kickoff return by Geraci. Tyler Bush goes in for a touchdown. Lincoln on the 2-point conversion. That made it 16-14 in favor of Heritage. A quick answer by Smith made it 22-16. And then we had the connection between Larson and Lincoln for a touchdown. Made it 24-22 in favor of Heritage. Try to put the game away. Pine Belt comes up with a stop, and then they answer 28-22. 2-point conversion was good. Ends up being 30-22. Sorry, 30-24 was the final there.
Cruel game, Rick. I mean, you look at it, home field for the varsity for the first time. The rookies got to break in the field on Tuesday night, and from all reports had great success. That's going to be a really good group of athletes there. I've had an opportunity to coach them in basketball, some of those kids, so I was excited to hear the way that they played on Tuesday night. But you had a lead. You had that 24-22 lead pretty late, but credit Pine Belt, just kept coming. And, you know, Pine Belt was 2 games ahead of Heritage from what we've seen schedule-wise, and some of that kind of helps at the end of these, too. You know, you've been in these situations. If the stuff we saw on Max Preps was right, they've been in 2 tight ball games and found a way tonight to win one. This will be a great learning experience for Coach Lee and his group. Have to be inspired by the crowd they pulled tonight, does their group. They had great crowd support tonight. We appreciate each and every one of you that have tuned in here on the Friday night. It's been Clay Sweet, Ricky Whitaker, Jackson Harrelson on the camera. We appreciate Diamond Productions, Donnie Pascal, for his help and all things that have been talking ball, y'all, really since the beginning, and a special help tonight. And so until you hear from us on next Friday night, love God, love people.